No, I am live on Facebook. This shows you how adept I am at technology. Let's see. Hit screen share. Now I'm going into the right area. Now I'm connecting to my iPad. Now you guys should see my screen. Awesome. And let's see if I go over and take a look at my Facebook account. Maybe I can actually see comments as they come pouring in. My plan today is to draw some carrot cake. Oh yeah, it's really exciting stuff here at Monlux Illustration. I'm going to be drawing carrot cake. Okay, looks like I have a whole 5 viewers. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is open up a layer, do my preliminary drawing. I'm trying to decide how I should do my carrot cake. And I got this idea. I think what I'll do is I'm going to draw a full round cake. And let's see, do a plate around it. That's a terrible plate. Let's try that again. That plate's too big. Well, this is just my rough outline. I need to double check because I've got some lettering going on. And I want to make sure that this doesn't come down too far for the lettering. So I'll grab this, move it up. Now, instead of having like candles on the top of the cake, I thought that I would have carrots. And I thought that would be cute. The tops of my carrots. Now I'm noticing that this is still coming in a little large for my preliminary sizing. So I'm just going to grab all that and reduce it down just a little bit. There we go. I like that size. Maybe just move it a smidge to the left. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the black and white line. First, I'm going to go ahead and lock this blue in on a bottom layer, go to a top layer, and select my black lines. Make sure my lines are the correct weight that I want them to be. Well, hello, Lonnie. I'm waving at you too. Thank you for watching me draw. Still at 5 viewers. Now, one quick way I could do this, and you know I love doing things fast, is I'll do one carrot. Oh, that's too big on top. Why? Why did I draw it that big? There we go, that's better. I'm going to make a nice little green top for it now. I wanted to draw those quickly. I didn't want to look like I was being too painfully, what's the word I'm looking for? Architectural. I didn't want to have it to look too stiff, formal. I'm just cleaning up these little ends because I want them nice and sharp. That's one carrot done. And I'm just going to go ahead and do one on another layer. One of the reasons I got the 8.5 by 11 iPad was I tend to draw in a small surface area. Some people like to do things with big swooshes like that, and that's not me. It's not my style. I like to draw little lines at a time. Cleaning that up just a little bit. And double checking, make sure I'm on another layer. Because all day yesterday, I was doing this terrible bit where I kept drawing on the same layer. Matter of fact, I was even doing it this morning. I was in a drawing session with some friends, and I was drawing a little Pokemon character, and was my blue line sketch. I drew on that same layer. It is such a rookie move to draw on the same layer. That looks good. I'm going to basically have two layers, one with the background layer of carrots and one with the foreground layer of carrots. Let's see. Well, Liani, I am working inside Procreate on the iPad. I've got my little Mac pencil here. So he says, I hope your afternoon is nice and relaxing as well as slow. Give you a chance to get caught up on some of your back paperwork and listen to me talk about drawing fluffy green foliage on carrots. Now, a long time ago, back in 1979, I lived in Japan as a foreign exchange student. And one of the things I found out was in Japan, carrots are drawn big, fat, round, and short like this, and not long and pointy like this. And I was drawing a carrot in Japan, and people were looking at me saying, "What is that?" And that's because in Japan, the preferred shape for a carrot at the grocery store is this wide, squat, short carrot, where we Americans prefer a nice, long, pointy carrot. And maybe we think that a fat, I always thought that a fat carrot was too woody, and we like to, just in the States, chomp down on our carrots and nibble on them. And we like to cut carrot sticks. Now I'm drawing at a fairly high DPI because I'm planning on these illustrations to be relatively small, about 4 inches big, maybe 5 for a calendar. And so I want them to have a fairly consistent line width. I mean, not perfect. If I wanted them perfect, I would have done them inside Illustrator. But fairly consistent, not a whole lot of thick and thin. It's just a look I'm going for with this set. And I committed to it about 2 weeks into doing this project. And you're going to be doing 52 weeks. Going back and redrawing something in a different style just seemed like a big waste of time to me. My friends will let you know that I don't like to redraw stuff. I like to just move ahead. Lonnie was explaining how her boss is called, she'll let them know that, oh, that's just my friend drawing, explaining that he's drawing fluffy foliage. Earlier today, my wife was telling her co-workers on Zoom that I was singing ABBA. And I don't know why, but for some reason, an ABBA song just popped into my head. Now I'm a terrible singer. My wife doesn't like it when I sing. As a matter of fact, I had a cat sitting. Was it Maddie? No, it was my cat Maddie. And she really hated it when I sung. If I sang Danny Boy, the cat would come running over, jump on my lap, and then start biting my wrists until I stopped. She, and I discovered that when a movie named Miller Crossing came out, and there's a scene where Danny Boy is playing on a record, and I was just smitten with the song. It was the first time I heard the song in a movie, and it was during this big gunfight sequence. And so I thought, I'm going to learn the words of that song. And for a couple days, I kept singing Danny Boy until I got it right. And I think that's when I discovered my cat um, didn't like my singing. The A movie that's got carrots in it is one called "It Happened One Night" with Clark Gable and Claudia Corbett, and that movie was extremely popular. I think it was made in 1937, and at one point, it's a comedy romance movie, a rom com, and the couple's hitchhiking along the road, and it's early in the morning. They just left a mortar court or fled a mortar court because they didn't want to have uh, some reporters or some lawyers were chasing them. I'm trying to remember which exactly. I mean, he was a reporter in it, so he didn't want anyone else catching his story. So he's trying to keep this heiress out of everybody else's hands, keep the story for himself. And they're walking by a field and they're hungry. So he goes in and he raids the field, and it's a field of carrots. So he's eating carrots and being all snarky with her. And that would later become a caricature of Bugs Bunny. As a matter of fact, that in this movie, Clark Gable makes up a mobster character named Bugs to frighten off a another rider in the bus who recognized the heiress, and so he made like he was a member of the gang, and he was going to kidnap her. And hey, did the guy want in? He says, know who runs this group? And the guy goes, no, who? And he goes, Bugs. And I'm trying to remember if he gave a last name for Bugs or just went with Bugs. Anyway, the traveling salesman guy decides that he wants to have nothing to do with the Bugs gang. So when Warner Brothers, the cartoon division, were given an assignment to work with this script with this kind of zany rabbit, which was meant to be a one-off, just a one-off cartoon. But they were using so many references from this movie, It Happened One Night, which was extremely popular at the theaters at the time, that the cartoon also became popular as a result. And they said, hey, let's bring back that rabbit character called Bugs. And that's how Bugs Bunny became a staple. The movie It Happened One Night was also responsible for um, the whole gag of sticking your foot out to flag down a car for hitchhiking. I do like that feature of this feature inside Procreate where you can draw a circle and then mess around with it and move it around. There we go. Matter of fact, I'm going to copy that and put it on another layer. Move it down and resize it a little bit and use that as a shadow later on when I'm doing my fills. Okay, now I'm going to do my preliminary fills for this. As you can see underneath my various layers, I'm just going to go ahead and add a layer underneath each one of these. I know I don't have to, but this is my methodology. And I'm going to make top layer a reference. That'll make it so that I can go in to the layers that are underneath and do quick fills. I have a palette selected for this series of illustrations. Turn off the reference for that one. Go to the next one down. Do the same down here. Oh, I just noticed I forgot to erase a line. I cannot believe 5 people are watching me draw carrots. That's hilarious. Whoops. I need to remember to switch back to a different layer. Now I need to, there we go. Now I have the right layer on the right place. I'm going to go with some white frosting here. Turn off the reference. Turn on the reference. And another layer. Select white. Put it in. I have this little black dot. I must have drawn that at some point. Just have to figure out which layer it's on. It looks like it's on one of the carrot layers. There it is. It's on that top carrot layer. Just go in, draw that. So if this is a white carrot cake, then I'm going to make the plate a yellow color. quickly making a reference, clicking on the layer beneath it, putting in the yellow for that color. Now I'm going to select the background color. Let's go with, I think I'll go with a blue. Create a new layer, go down. Well, that's pretty dark for that blue. Let's see if there's another color that might work better for that. Let's try it. The pink color works better, but I need to do something about that green. Green's not really cutting it for me. I want a more vibrant green. I'm not really seeing one. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Let's go with this green. I have to turn off the reference. That's why it's doing that. Maybe something between those two greens because I'm not liking either one. I think I want something a little brighter. I actually want to use this color green. Yes, that looks a lot better to me. So I'll go with that color green. It's not part of my palette, but it's more primary. I like it, so I'm going to go with that. Then I'm going to go back to black, go into this bottom layer. And bring back these other layers. I'm now going to make that shadow tinted back a little bit. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the blue to do some shadows on everything. Give this just a little bit more depth because it's still not, it's looking very, very flat and it needs a little bit more than that. So I'm going to add some more layers. I like all the layers you can do in this thing. So I'm going to start with this darker blue. And just see what this will look like when I go in and make sure that I have it behind the black. And then I would never leave it that solid. What I'm going to do is select that layer and move that opacity a little bit. Oops. See just a little bit of that blue, say about 35% is perfect. So what I'm going to do now is go into these other carrots and add that same amount of highlighting. Clean up those edges a little bit. Now, I meant to be drawing a ukulele today for you guys, but I got so engrossed with, I was drawing the ukuleles. Usually when I draw musical instruments, it's a bit of a challenge because getting the shapes just right is a pain in the butt. But I drew my preliminary blue line shapes and I liked them so much. I thought, I don't need to redraw those. I'll just turn those black. And I did. And then I realized, oh, well, all I have to do is some fills and that's done. So I had that illustration done before I even knew it. And I realized, oh man, I'll have to do something else for my video. Creating another layer, making this layer 35%, just like the others. I'm going to try to drag down and fill this. Work. Okay. That won't work properly if I still have a reference layer selected. Because what I was doing was I did an outline of the color, like watch here how I go around the outline of where I want this color fill to be. And I fill that in so that it's enclosed. I can just drop it in like that. But had I had reference still on, it would have only picked up the reference line of the black layer above and would have filled in incorrectly. Now I wonder what, if at the same level of blue that I have going on here, how it will look around the base of the carrots. I'd say 35%. It actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to just go around the base of these carrots with that blue. And I'm going to just a little bit of that blue on the edge over here. And a little bit on the lip of the cake. A little bit down at the bottom of the cake. And I like it so much that I'm going to go ahead and change that black layer that I have at the bottom. Going to select it and make it that blue instead. And there we have, let's see, which way do I want? There's my carrot cake for National Carrot Cake Day. So I'm going to call that file good. Turn that off. Stop my screen share. You can see there that I have a whole bunch of various days already drawn out. There's the ukulele that I did before. And now I'm going to see if I can actually stop this live feed the correct way. I want to thank everyone for watching me draw carrot cake today.